Good morning, children. Till before class I explained pathway of air, and today I am going to continue our class mechanism of respiration in human beings. Mechanism of respiration in human beings. We know breathing is the process of inhalation and exhalation. The organs involved are mainly the lungs. It is easy to feel them in action. You can put your hand on your chest and you breathe in. Then you see your chest is slightly bigger and it is somehow upward. We can present it. We can see that. Now slowly you breathe out and then you can feel the chest is coming to its normal size, normal position. Then the lungs themselves can neither draw in air or push out. The chest wall of the muscles, another flexible, flattened muscles called diaphragm helps the lungs in moving air into and out of them. What helps the lungs to air move in and out? The diaphragm. I will show the diagram of the diaphragm. This is the diagram of the diaphragm. Here, this shape, dome shape, below the lungs, the diaphragm is present. This part is diaphragm. Just above the diaphragm, the lungs is there. This is the lungs. Two parts are there. This is trachea. This part is called, this is rib bones and the chest wall muscles. These are the parts of the diaphragm. Okay, see well and you study. And what is the role of diaphragm and ribs in respiration? The wall of the chest wall is made up of the wall of the chest wall is made up of ribs, muscles and skin. Ribs, muscles and skin. I showed in the diagram also ribs part. The ribs are attached to an angle to the spine. We can check with it our moving our hands on our chest part and back part. We can see that how the ribs is attached to our spine. When we inhale, chest wall move upward and expands. This increases the volume of the chest cavity. When we breathe out, the diaphragm relaxes. The diaphragm is the shape of the dome with the convex of the dome extending to the chest. The diaphragm is the dome shape. Upper part is extending to the chest part. When we inhale the air, when inhalation, the diaphragm will contract and it will flat and just move down. Then volume of the chest cavity will increase. This is the reason more air will rush to our lungs. And when the diaphragm flattens, the volume of chest cavity increases, the internal pressure decreases, and the air from the outside rushes into the lungs. This is called inspiration. Then what is called inspiration or inhalation? When the diaphragm flattens, the volume of chest cavity increase the internal pressure decrease and the air from the outside will rush into our lungs. This process is called inspiration or inhalation. And when the reverse occurs, the walls of the lower end and moves inward, the walls of the diaphragm relax, then it come to the normal position of the diaphragm. Then upper part of the diaphragm will extend to the chest part, lungs. Then the volume of the lungs is decrease, and then the pressure will increase. Then it will make the air will squeeze and rush out from the lungs to outside through our nose, and that air will mix with the atmosphere air. This is called expiration or exhalation. Then what is expiration or exhalation? When the diaphragm is relaxed, it will come to its regular position, regular form. Then when it take its regular form, the area of the interior volume of the lungs will decrease, and the tissues, elastic tissues on the lungs will squeeze the air from the lungs, and the carbon dioxide, the air will push out from the lungs through our nose, and this push out air will mix in the atmosphere. This process is called expiration or exhalation. Then another important matter, our lungs are spongy in nature. They are not in the same size. Different size are there. The left lung is slightly smaller than the right lung because the left lung, the left part of the chest is the heart is situated. For giving place for the heart, the left lung is little smaller than the right lung. Lungs are protected by two membranes. Lungs surroundings, the membrane protected by two membranes. This is called pleura. Then what is called pleura? The lungs are protected by two membranes called pleura. Then another matter is the fluid between the two membranes. Two membranes are there surround the lungs. The fluid between the membranes protect the lungs from injuries and also help to expansion of the spongy and elastic lung muscle is a slide one over the other. So it will help to expand the spongy and elastic lung muscle. In this way the lungs is protected. Why? Because sometimes it will come on one on another. So it will get damaged. This fluid help to injure or affect from this action. When we are to rest our breathing, when we take the rest, our breath is very low. Our body need less amount of oxygen. But when we are do any work, exercise like that work, our bodies need more amount of oxygen. Next, gaseous exhalate alveoli to the capillaries. Gaseous exchange takes place within the lungs by diffusion from the alveoli to the blood capillaries. The carbon dioxide is exchanged for oxygen in the alveoli. I will show the diagram of alveoli. This is the diagram of the alveoli. In previous class also I have explained to you. End of the bronchioles, air sacs like structure is there. Is called bronchiole. The air sacs is called bronchiole. And the bronchiole, the alveoli, surrounded by a capillary network. This is the capillary network. This part. Inside of the capillaries network, there are blood cells are there. You can see the red spots are there. See, these are showing as the blood capillaries. Here, from the blood capillaries, diffuse the carbon dioxide to the alveoli. From the alveoli, take oxygen from the blood cells. Here the exchange of gas takes place. And after exchanging the gases, the oxygen will mix in the blood. Then the blood will flow into the heart. From the heart, the blood will flow to all parts of the body for all functions. As a result of gaseous exchange, the composition of inhaled air and exhaled air are different. I can show through the chart here shown. After inhalation or exhalation, gas, the percentage of inhaled air, percentage of exhaled air. Oxygen, in inhalation, the percentage of oxygen is 21%, but when we are observing, the oxygen percentage is 16. Then we can guess into what happened to that oxygen. We know respiration took place. The oxygen may be received by the blood and used for the body purpose. And next, carbon dioxide. 0.03 is the inhaled air, but when it is exhaled, we are seeing 4.4%. Here the percentage is increasing. We know what is the reason? We studied carbon dioxide we are expelled out. After the process, some processes are going on in our body. Then there more carbon dioxide is produced. That carbon dioxide is expelled out through our inhalation process. Nitrogen is the same percentage. That means nitrogen is not using in our body. Then do you know the total lung capacity of human being is nearly 5,800 ml. The lung capacity of a human being is 5,800 ml. Normally at rest who is inhaled or exhaled approximately only 500 ml. When we are taking rest, only we are taking 500 ml of the air, and every completion of the exhalation 1200 ml of air is remains in our lungs. Next, I am going to teach transportation of gases. We know air is a mixture of gases that fills the lungs, and in alveoli takes place the exchange of gases. Then the relative amount of different gases in air. When air enters to the alveoli, there are different amount of gases are there. Their combining capacity with the hemoglobin and other substance. Some gases can combine with the hemoglobin and other substance also. Is determined. Their transport is via in the blood. When we inhale, oxygen enters to the lungs, their gases exchange takes place. Then oxygen diffused in blood. After exit takes place after, the oxygen diffused in the blood and it rapidly combined with the hemoglobin to form oxyhemoglobin. The oxygen combined with the hemoglobin and now this hemoglobin is called oxyhemoglobin. Then not only the hemoglobin can combine with the oxygen, sometimes it will reverse. The oxyhemoglobin will divided into or convert into hemoglobin and O2 also, oxygen also. That is occur in hemoglobin combined with the oxygen and formation of the oxyhemoglobin in the lungs. But sometimes the hemoglobin is reverse happen. It will convert into the oxyhemoglobin convert into hemoglobin and oxygen in tissues. The formula to understand the formula I written on the wall. Look here, Hb. Hb represents the hemoglobin and combined with O2 we get the oxyhemoglobin HbO2. It is occur in our lungs. And in tissue it will sometimes it will happen reverse. Oxyhemoglobin HbO2 convert into hemoglobin plus O2 oxygen in the tissues. By study that equation you can understand how the reactions takes place. Next I am going to teach gaseous exchange, capillaries to cell and back. In the capillaries over the tissues, hemoglobin means very difficult environment and different environment. The tissue cells are continuously using the oxygen. Tissues of the cells are continuously using the oxygen. Hence, the concentration of oxygen is decreasing in the cells. It is found to be only 1/3 of that in the lungs. As the concentration of oxygen is low, hemoglobin is present in the blood. It will release the oxygen molecules that enters to the cells. Then it will take reactions there. When the hemoglobin will combine with the mixing to the release to the cell, then the reaction takes place. Then the water and carbon dioxide and energy will produce, and this energy is used for different purposes in our body. Next, I am going to teach cellular respiration. In the term cellular respiration, cells release energy from the chemical bonds of food materials that enter them. If the food materials enter to the cells, it will form the chemical bonds and will release the energy. It provides the energy for the essential process for life. So, living cells must carry out cellular respiration. It can be in the presence of oxygen. Is called aerobic respiration. What is called aerobic respiration? In the cells carry out the cellular respiration with the presence of oxygen is called aerobic respiration. And another process also occur in bacterial respiration by anaerobic, means absence of or a low amount of oxygen. Method is called fermentation. Then what is called fermentation? The process of bacterial respiration by anaerobic method is called fermentation. Then what are the products from the fermentation? It will become sour because of ethyl or lactic acid is produced. This gives the sour taste. In animals, anaerobic respiration leads to the formation of lactic acid from glucose. In anaerobic respiration, few ATP molecules are also produced. What is ATP molecules? In previous chapter also I explained, we studied adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. Cellular respiration in a process, cells like that of bacteria occurs within the cytoplasm. While in eukaryotic cells, cytoplasm and mitochondria are the site for the reactions. Then the produced energy stored in the mitochondria in the form of ATP. That is why mitochondria are called the powerhouse of the cell. Okay. In a eukaryotic cell, cytoplasm and mitochondria are the site for the reactions of producing the materials. They produce energy stored in the mitochondria in the form of ATP. So the mitochondria are called the powerhouse of the cell. I will show the diagram of the mitochondria also. This is the diagram of mitochondria. Structure of the mitochondria. Here, outer membranes are there, and the inner membrane also is there. Inside, something folding like structures you can see. This folding like structure is called a piston, and here the matrix. In this part only the energy is stored. This is the important diagram in this chapter, the structure of the mitochondria. Next here, the sugar and other food within the cell does not take place in a single reaction. It occurs in a series steps. From the breakdown of glucose, the energy is released and stored up in a special compound known as ATP, adenosine triphosphate. It is a small parcel of chemical energy. This ATP can supply rich energy where needed within the cell. Where is the energy is needed for the reactions or other functions. The ATP will supply the energy to the cell. Each ATP molecules give 7,200 calories of energy. This energy is stored in the form of phosphate bonds in the cell. If the bond is broken, stored energy is released. Whenever is needed the energy, the phosphate bonds will break, then much energy is released, then the body can use this energy. That equation I will show. I write on the border. Here glucose, it's a series of reactions. The glucose convert into pyruvate. Pyruvate means 3 carbon compounds. 3 carbon compounds and plus energy is released. From that pyruvate, when the reaction takes place in the presence of oxygen, aerobic respiration, the presence of oxygen, the reaction is called aerobic respiration. Then products are forming carbon dioxide plus H2O, water plus energy. These are occur in plants and animals. Next, absence of low amount of oxygen means anaerobic respiration is in a fermentation process, already explained. The products are forming in this anaerobic respiration. Lactic acid plus energy. Lactic acid plus energy happen in bacteria. And the next product is ethanol plus carbon dioxide plus energy. It is occur in yeast. Okay, today's class completed. And next topic I will come on with another classes. And till now what I explained, previous chapter and present chapter, you want to prepare questions by yourself, see the videos and online classes. Then people who has the textbooks read many times and prepare questions and answers. And many diagram also I explained in the classes that you have practiced many times after you draw in your class. And reopening after class I will check it. Okay children, thank you for your concentration on my class.